Well, after 1 month spent in Chile, in Talca, taking rest and recharging the batteries, I'm ready to cycle again, and I start my journey from Colombia, in the beautiful and remote regions of Boyaca and Santander. And also this time actually, like every time I took a big break from the bike, it feels really tough to come back and to start again my journey. The route explores the two regions of Boyaca and Santander on the eastern side of the Cordillera of the Colombian Andes. In 600 kilometers and 21,000 meters of elevation gain, it's really a tough but rewarding adventure. I start my journey from Bucaramanga with Lady, my warm shower host. So basically now I'm back alone because Leia came back to the city. So I'm just again alone with the bike, and it's a really strange feeling. I feel, I don't know, really lonely as well. And then I realized what would be the toughest challenge of cycling in Colombia: humidity and heat. And on the first day cycling through Colombia, 3 dogs come out of nowhere and they start to bark, and one of them bites me. I'm really shocked, I really cannot believe what happened, and I go straight to the hospital with the help of Arnulfo, that gives me a lift also with the bike and hosted me for 2 days. No. Arnulfo is a tough guy. He used to be a sergeant in the military, but in the end has a really golden heart. From that moment, I'm scared of every dog I see on the road, and I see actually a lot of dogs. Most of them actually barking, but some are also quiet. And I start pedaling again, and quickly I realize how tasty and amazing are the fruit in Colombia. Truth is that I really feel, demotivated, and I'm really struggling to find the joy of bikepacking, and like, why I'm doing all this pain, and I don't know. And like every time, I just keep going with the only solution I actually know: pedaling and pedaling on. I arrive in San Joaquin, a small town that has less than 1,000 inhabitants, and I see that there is a lot of movement and there is really a special energy. This because the feria, the traditional celebration happening once per year, is starting actually that day. So I just decided to stay there and enjoy this amazing traditional event.
Démonos cuenta de la mansedumbre de estos animales, a pesar...
Para que reciban el incentivo de 50.000 pesos por su participación.
main event of the old feria is the competition of the vaca lechera, where basically every farmer has to bring a cow, and the one that produces the most milk will be the winner. Today was a really tough day, like every day, and now the storm is coming. I just hope I can reach the town before it comes. In Colombia, winter corresponds to the rainy season. And of course, I'm cycling through Colombia during the winter when it's raining a lot. Every day it's raining almost. Sometimes more, sometimes less. One of the things that makes so special my riding through Colombia are definitely the people. And whether it's to ask for some food in a remote place, whether it's to ask where I can pitch my tent for one night, every encounter is special, unexpected and incredible. I'm often invited inside these simple houses, forged from concrete bricks, foil canopies and wood. When you get inside a Colombian house, the first thing they ask you is "Tintico?" They offer a small tinto, that is the sugary coffee that Colombian people drink at any time in the day, from the early morning to the late night. An amazing sign of hospitality, and you really feel welcome. I talk and I share my story, but I always try, as much as possible, to listen and to understand the point of view of these people that have lived life that is so different from mine and from which I have really so much to learn.
Ay, fue puta, fallé.
No, yo siempre planeo para coger a mecha y no quiero nada.
No, yo era para coger la mecha esta. Póngale cuidado, pero es que no le conté.
No, yo siempre planeo para coger a mecha y no quiero nada.
No, yo era para coger la mecha esta.
This route I'm doing lead me up to 4,200 meters of elevation and to the unique ecosystem known as the Páramo.
When you ask people that live in a city of 10 million people as Bogota, where the water comes from, and they say from the pipe. And the reality is that the water doesn't come from the pipe. The water has like a root that they make from these ecosystems here in Bogota. They are called páramos. The páramos, they are like wetlands, but they are in the high Andean mountains. Most of the páramos are above 3,000 meters above the sea level. And the frailejones, they are endemic for the páramos. They have little hares, like you see them working. So when the fog comes, these little hares capture them, and then through their system, they just drop it to the surface water. So drop by drop, you can see how They intercept that fog from the air and then just throw it slowly to the rivers, basically. The water that you take from the Paramus is drinkable in all our indicators. Every house has that connection directly to the Paramus. So basically you're drinking the clouds, if you want to see it that way.
Crossing the mountains, I find myself in front of a very big river that really scares me. And I have to look around for a safe place where I can cross it. I go up and down the river and I try to get inside the water to understand how dangerous it could be. And finally I find a place that seems quite safe. At dawn, when the city is still waking up, I arrive in Villa de Leyva. I'm really tired, physically and mentally, and almost all my clothes are damp, full of mud and wet. But I'm really happy. After 22 days of true adventure and pushing on the pedals, it's unbelievable that I made 21,000 meters of elevation gain, but that's the truth. I was afraid I couldn't make it with my 50 kilograms bike, but once again I realized that the limits often are just in the head. And after all the bad feelings, now I feel good, really good, about my journey and about what is coming next. I really loved Colombia in this month, and probably the people is what I enjoy the most. And I also actually met a Colombian girl, but maybe this is just another story.